Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, bringing you the next section on Kamino, The Return. And this is my Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2 Unleashed difficulty video walkthrough. And for anybody just joining us, this is the last level of the game. And it's a pretty long level, so, you know, get used to grey, because this level is fucking grey. But once you jump across there, you're treated to a cutscene. And I don't know if I'm going to skip it. Let's have a see. Apparently not. So this cutscene's staying in. But we're basically making our way through this clone facility, which is what it is. And if you didn't know that, I do apologise. But you know, this game is. Oh, this is a guide. You should really be playing it before you're looking for a guide. So spoiler alert, even though it's already been ruined for you. But this is a cloning facility, and you're making your way through it so that you can get to Darth Vader, basically. And it's got a couple of challenging fights, and it's pretty refreshing actually, because this game has been pretty easy so far. But the only reason these fights are challenging is because they throw enemies at you en masse. There's a ton of them, and it's usually in situations where you can't really do much because the environment's against you. But we'll see what we get here, and this is one of the first more difficult areas, and my strategy for this is to run and try and suicide the checkpoint. So rush down here, electrocute those first set of stormtroopers, and run past that giant robot, 'cause it's a fucking douchebag and I hate it. I don't know what name it is, but it teleports when it attacks you, and it's bullshit. And if you drop down here, you'll get a checkpoint. And did you see what happened? I got killed by the ATSTs, and then when I reselected the checkpoint, it spawned me, and they both were dead. And that is the best way of doing that section, because it despawns the enemies. And I know there's probably a bunch of you thinking, well, that's not very cool, you didn't fight them properly. Well, for those people, fuck you. That is the easiest way to do this game. This game is not fun or challenging on this difficulty, it's just bullshit. So, if I can cheese my way through, I'm going to, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do the same, because there's nothing fun about fighting an enemy with a combat system that's not intuitive or responsive enough to accommodate it. That's not cool. I mean, this dude here, watch how far he can jump for you. He's a right dickhead. And you dash, and you're not invulnerable during the dash, you still get hit. I mean, look at that. It's not fun, it's not cool, he's just a dick. So, that's why I go past that area, and once that happens, he'll get his claw stuck in the ground and just throw your lightsabers at them. They're not very strong when it comes to the health bar, but they will hurt you so much, it's unbelievable. And then when you come around this corner, there's a lovely one of the walkers, so just kill him whichever way you can. And then another one spawns. And it's literally the game just throwing enemies at you for the sake of it, to see if you can take them all on. So that walker's down, couple stormtroopers, and another one of those robots I don't like. So I'm going to back up, and I'm probably going to throw my lightsabers at him. But watch him if he jumps. Watch him. Look at that! He will hit you at any range. What is that? Oh, that is just bad, that. I'm all for enemies having creative attack patterns, but an attack that can reach you wherever you are? Fuck you, LucasArts. In the eye, is what I say. But throw your lightsabers at him, he's a big old pussy when you get down to it. It's just that movie's bullshit and I don't like him. And once he's killed, it's smooth sailing now for a while. So clean up the stormtroopers, keep on boosting, and see what the game throws at you next. But as you can probably tell from my tone, I didn't enjoy this game. I didn't even enjoy recording the guide, because I couldn't even start it on my own terms, and that pissed me off to begin with. So, you're never in a good mood if you start something in a bad mood. But another elevator brings us down, and it's a fight with a war droid. And this is the flame variant. There's also going to be some of the spider bots as well that come for you. And they're the only reason why this battle is not completely easy, because when you're trying to charge your lightsaber throw and things like that, the little spiders will jump at you. And it's just bullshit because they keep spawning. So the best thing to do is to just run away, get a breather, and then like throw your lightsaber, electrocute. Or you can just focus on killing the robots, build up your Force Fury bar, and just unleash that psycho mode on him. But I got some throw my lightsabers, they do the job. Then I come in, electrocute him a little bit, charge my lightsabers. And you see, that's the problem with these little enemies. Because they're messing up with my auto-aim, I'm throwing my lightsabers at the wrong things. And I know you can press a button to lock on, so that is my own fault, but at the same time, I shouldn't need to. Why the fuck would I want to throw lightsabers at a tiny bot that can be killed with one boost of electricity? That just doesn't make any sense. But keep away from him, keep away from the war droid, just keep hitting him with what you've got. And then eventually you'll get the prompt above his head and you can execute him. But yeah, not really an interesting fight, not really an interesting level, in all honesty. Tell you what is interesting though, I don't know if any of your guys ever played The Darkness. It was a first-person shooter, it was a pretty early one on the 360, but it was really interesting because it had a hub system, a little bit like what you saw in Wolfenstein, only not shit. And it was a train station, and you could come and you could do side quests, a little bit like Fallout, but this was in a linear first-person shooter, so it gave it this open worldiness, but it didn't dampen you down with too much choice. And I really liked it because if you got close to people, if you pressed the trigger when you were close to them, instead of shooting them, it went into an execution animation. And the animations were beautiful, they really were, they were super cool. And I actually said when I was playing that game that this is going to be a trope that all developers copy in the future, and nobody seems to have done it. The only thing I can really think of is like Red Dead Redemption, when you get near people and you press trigger and he does the execution moves. And because that's the third person, I don't really count it because it's not a first person experience. The only other game like that is the Chronicles of Riddick's remakes, because that's made by the same team. I think they're Swedish, they're called Starbreeze, they might be Finnish, Swedish, they're in the fjord area. And they're a super good development team. I really like them because they remind me of Remedy. And the reason why they remind me of Remedy is because they make the games they want to make. They don't give a fuck about what everybody wants. They put in what they want to put in. And they pay so much detail to the little things that really makes them worlds come alive. And I love that. But I hadn't even got to the point I was trying to make, and I'm going to have to... What I'm trying to say is Darkness 2's been announced. It's been done by a different team, so I don't know how to take it, but I'm really excited. Anyhow, this is a challenging fight. I'll get back to the Darkness talk in a minute. What happens first is there's a ton of the rocket pack arseholes, so electrocute them with your force lightning, and what will happen is these circle glowing lights on the floor will raise into pods and they'll spawn enemies. And the Sith Acolytes, they're the gold dudes with double lightsabers, they're also the invisible guys, and there's a lot of them. So the best thing to do is to stand up at the top end of here and throw them off the edge. Use the camera to your advantage and just try and get to them as quickly as you can and throw them off the edges. If you can't get them off the edge, run up to them and execute them on the floor, but just make sure you just get rid of them as quickly. Look at that, that is bad lock on that. And I just think, fuck it, I'm going to use that psycho mode. I have done this part before just by throwing people. It's just the AI seems to be on and off. Sometimes they'll kill you in a couple of seconds, other times they won't even attack you. It's really weird, but if you do have this crazy mode available to you, I would suggest using it because it'll make it super easy. But the general premise is chuck them off the edge. And now that it's the invisible guys, I know that I can electrocute them to stun them, so I'm not too worried about them. But keep your block up, because they do hurt you if they hit you. As soon as you electrocute them, throw them off the edge. There you go, off the edge he goes, blocks up again. Electrocute. Oh no, I'm using the mind trick on that one. Jedi mind trick. Jedi mind trick on that one. And there we go, they're all mind tricks now, so I can actually go in and throw them off the edge if I want to. But instead, they blow up and they pop. So that's another valid strategy for that section. The Jedi mind trick will get you through that as well. And now it's just platforming time to get to the top. Whoa! Don't fuck your jump up.
What is this place?
For some reason, I think that's because my analogs, not my analog, sorry, my L1 is really stiff. And I don't think I've mentioned it before, but it's a pad I've had for years and it's done me some real justice, but the L1 is sticking, so when I throw flashbangs and stun grenades on Black Ops, it throws 2. It's really crazy, but just follow what I do, jump up here, ignore the enemies if you can, and just continue on. So, as I was saying, Starbreeze, love them as a company, but the Darkness 2's been announced, and it's been handled by somebody completely different, and I don't think I recognise the development team that's doing it, so they're either going to make a rehash of the first game that doesn't quite live up to what I want it to be, or they're going to make a continuation that could be really, really good. The things that I want to see personally is a bigger emphasis on, you know, locations that feel like you're in those gritty noir style cities. Like, before you went to butcher places, you went to train stations, you went to all sorts of stuff, you know, like flats and apartments. I'd like to see a bigger gangster influence where you go into, you know, bigger apartment blocks just held down by, like, crack addicts and stuff. Similar to, like, Max Payne 1 when you go into all Italian restaurants because it's where all big mobsters are. I'd really like to see that kind of stuff. And the weapons, I hope they've got a couple more diverse weapons, because the pistols on the first game were amazing, but everything else kind of sucked dick. And the cool thing about the pistols, if you never played it, was every time you reloaded, instead of reloading, the main character Jackie would literally throw the gun away and pull another one. It was like watching fucking Neo from the Matrix when he's just pulling guns from every orifice. It's ridiculous and it looks awesome. And you can have really weird combinations of guns in your hands, like you'll have a Desert Eagle in one hand and like a Magnum in other hand and stuff like that. And as long as they bring that kind of stuff back, and really cool weapons and cool executions, and like the darkness abilities, if they embellish on the abilities and stuff like that, it could be such a good game, and I'm really looking forward to it. But be careful on the platforming on this bit, because as you can see, I've fucked it up, so I've got to go back and do it the right way. And it isn't difficult to do, it's just sometimes the boost is not responsive at all. And it's a big shame, because I don't know, this game, if it were really tweaked and it were really polished to that degree that these kind of action games need to be, it could be something really special. But then you have to tie in the fact that it's got really piss poor level design, it's only got 4 levels that are all too fucking long for their own good, and there's hardly any bosses, something that the first game utilised really well. But anyhow guys, thanks for watching, end of this video, you take care now.